Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about who could the White Ranger that's going to appear at the end of Dino Fury Season 2 allegedly be. If you don't know, from some descriptions we got from the international episode, supposedly a White Ranger appears at the end of episode 22. Now, as always, kind of take it with a grain of salt just in terms of this was translated, so it's possible it was misinterpreted, so there's always a chance that this isn't exactly what we think it is. Also, from the couple different translations I've seen, there could be different context to it in regards to who the White Ranger is. And by that it means it says something about Zato, a White Ranger, appearing. And like the translations, both the ones I read were kind of like broken. Like, when you run something through a translator and it doesn't exactly flow right in English. So you can't tell whether it means that Zato is the White Ranger that's appearing or he's appearing with a White Ranger. So first of all, in regards to this, there's obviously a couple options with that. I mean, Zato could be this White Ranger. We don't know what suit. I'll kind of go over the suit options in a minute, but it could be Zato for whatever reason, and maybe he's going to be a White Ranger or have a White Ranger form in Cosmic Fury. It could also mean that Zato is arriving with a White Ranger. Maybe he disappears before like the epilogue of the finale, and then when he returns, he's with whatever White Ranger this is. It's also possible they just somehow coincidentally arrive at the same time, and by that I just mean like, Zato left for whatever reason, and right when he's coming back and, getting back together with his friends, that's when the White Ranger shows up. So I'm not exactly sure about that, but let's talk about what the options are for what this White Ranger could be, just in regards to Sentai suits or original suits and everything in between. I mean, based off of the Sentai suits from this area where we haven't used Sentai suits and we possibly could, there's a couple options. One that I've forgotten to mention in a couple times is the White Ranger suit from Zyuohger. I highly doubt that would be it. I mean, I personally don't think we're going to be using Zyuohger for Cosmic Fury, but even if we were, it would just seem weird to use one of the random Core 5 as this special Ranger showing up. I feel like if a Ranger were to show up as a lead-in to Season 3 / Cosmic Fury, it would be like some sort of special Ranger, like a 6th Ranger or a lead Ranger like Zenkaiser. I mean, if this was something like Magi Ranger and there was a White Mystic Ranger, I'd be like, yeah, that would make sense. A cool suit like that showing up. No offense to the White Ranger and Zyuohger, but that just would seem weird to me. So I highly doubt that would be the case. Also, there is Shishi Red Orion, which is a power-up from Q Ranger for the Red Ranger, which actually turns him into a White Ranger. If we were to use Q Ranger, this could possibly be an option. Whether it would be Zato or not, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if this White Ranger will be Zato. It would be interesting if Zato was a White Ranger going into next season. But if they decide to make it a separate Ranger, if we were to do Q Ranger, I still feel like I'm partly doubting that, but I don't know. I feel like most evidence is just fans want it, and the really basic connection of space, connected. There's all the evidence. If we did do Q Ranger, I kind of like the idea of making the Shishi Red Orions, the White Ranger suit and the Red Ranger suit, separate entities. If we ever did Zyuohger, I would... if I were to do Zyuohger, I would probably make the Whale Ranger power-up a different Ranger because it looks so different. And I kind of like that idea. But there is a White Ranger suit there, so that's a possibility. Whether it would be Zato or someone recruiting them, if they wanted to keep the same colors, then maybe it would be a new character, like a reoccurring mentor-like figure that would give them powers, and then Zato would become the Red Ranger from Q Ranger. Of course, there is also Zenkaiser. There was multiple rumors before Cosmic Fury that had Zenkaiser adaptation elements. We were going to be doing something original with that they were going to use some stuff from it, but splice it together with some original stuff. So there's a possibility some of that was true. Obviously, being an anniversary season and having Zenkaiser as the lead character, that would make possible sense if they wanted to use it for a character showing up. I don't necessarily think it would be Zato, but I could see a version of reality where, a Zenkaiser counterpart showed up and recruited them, something's got to be done about your kids, or not like that, but you know what I mean. Well, there was rumors of David Yost being involved. Would Zenkaiser be Billy? I don't know. You can get really crazy with the speculation. Honestly, it's fun to think of these what ifs, what if we use Zenkaiser, what if Billy was Zenkaiser, but I'm keeping my expectations low. But in regards to White Ranger suits, that is a possibility. Another one that's been brought up is this Ryusoul Moria suit, which is this exclusive White Ranger Ryusoulgers suit from a canceled stage show. I didn't know it was canceled actually until recently. It's funny because I didn't know it existed and then I didn't know it was canceled because I've stated in previous videos I do not follow any post-series content hardly for Sentai and Rider. So occasionally they'll do a stage show that has some original suits. for Rider and Sentai. I mean, Sentai's done it for sure, but I feel like I remember it more with Rider just because I'll see the figure arts pop up. There's an original suit that was for a stage show that wound up getting canceled, but there are pictures of it, and that's interesting because there was the White Ranger rumor, and there technically is a White Ranger Ryusoulger counterpart to some degree. You know, before we were confirmed that Cosmic Fury was exactly going to use Dino Fury, I wasn't sure. Like, I was thinking, maybe we're all thinking too crazy that it's going to be Zenkaiser or Q-Ranger related, and this would just be a simple White Ranger like this at the end of the series as a cool bookend. It depends on what they do with it. Like, if they just use the Kara Major team-up power-up vests, maybe, like, that would be brought to them by this mysterious White Ranger, or Zato would become this White Ranger, or it's a power-up. Like, I don't know. I feel like this one sits right in the middle. I think it would be kind of a cool deep cut to have this show up in the show, and I also think it's a pretty cool suit, but I'm honestly not sure. Of course, the other option is in a completely original suit, you know, whether it's like 100% original, something we've never seen before, or their own version of a Dino Fury Ryusoulger white suit. That's possible. It's possible we could get an original Ranger, you know. We have gotten original Rangers before. There is precedent for it, you know, with the Spirit Rangers and Titanium Ranger and stuff. And the idea of making your own suit for a new character is pretty much commonplace for any other type of show that would be making this. That isn't tied to anything. So I don't know. I honestly don't know which one is likely, but all those options are interesting. A couple people have brought up, maybe half jokingly, half serious, like what if it's MMPR white? I feel like I'm going to say I doubt that. I feel like just saying that, I probably just spoke it into existence. I mean, to be honest, that's how fans treat the rumors, like somehow addressing them is going to speak them into existence. But I don't think it would be MMPR white. And unless it was a new character as it or something, who knows? You never know. A Power Ranger has the Power Ranger, just one single Power Ranger. Power Rangers has thrown us some curveballs, and they do love their MMPR. Most people would probably assume it would be JDF, but, you know, he's been pretty vocal about the fact that he's approached Hasbro about wanting to be more involved, and they don't seem all that interested. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to do my own adult thing and do this project that's in no way Power Rangers, but looks like it. But it's not Power Rangers. It's serious for adults. I have a mohawk. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Part of me is leaving open the possibility that this was mistranslated and it could be something else entirely. But I do think it's interesting just because there are a couple key Sentai that are rumored and hoped that have a primary White Ranger figure that could be used. I mean, what would I hope for? Part of me thinks the original Ryusoulger one would be cool, because it would be cool to see a deep cut like that. I think Zenkaiser showing up as a vehicle for whatever anniversary stuff they're doing could be interesting. I'd also like to see an original. I'm kind of like an original above all else type of guy too, so maybe I'd like to see that, but I think it'll be fascinating, and we'll actually know pretty soon, because the international airings are, as of this recording, basically going to be done within the next month, and we're going to know what happens in the finale like right before we get it here in the US. So I'll keep you guys updated on it. But in the meantime, what are your theories on who the White Ranger is? Who do you hope it is, both character and suit-wise? Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.